Hello everyone, my name is Alicia Jackson, licensed professional counselor, and welcome to my channel. Today we are reviewing Married at First Sight season 14 and the final part of the review, as this will be my last review for this season. We are doing a quick therapist review of Married at First Sight, and I also want to kind of give you a disclaimer that I just left the dentist, so if my mouth is a little weird, it's because it's numb. Part of it's numb. But anyway, so let's get into it. Before we get started, of course, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and of course, comment below and join a discussion about what you're thinking about where these couples are after decision day, months after they've been married. I think this is about 5 or 6 months out, so let me know your thoughts. So while it was great to get the background information about how the girls got along and how the fellas got along, we won't really be focusing much on those aspects of the reunion, as this is really about just kind of understanding relationships, and specifically marital relationships and romantic relationships. But what I will say is it was interesting to see in the dynamic with the women that Lindsay potentially seems like has a long distance relationship with the truth. That at times when she's cornered, she will be dishonest. And this kind of really also mirrors her relationship with Mark as well. How she will kind of tell the story but not tell the full story, so it paints like a slanted picture of what really happened, but not a full picture of maybe why Mark said, you need to get out of my house. So it really kind of paints that picture even more clear as the ladies were able to provide their experience of each other, but specifically in this situation, Lindsay. What I really, really liked and enjoyed about this part of the reunion was the experts sitting down with each couple. It was a time, I think, where the couple can talk to the experts about how they're feeling, and also the experts giving their feedback as to saying, here's where I feel like you guys can work on, or some areas of growth, and here's also what you can do and utilize for your next relationship. So I hope they keep this. I hope they keep this for the reunion moving forward. So first up, we're going to talk about Jasmina and Michael. What I will say, I saw Dr. Viviana really trying to kind of knock some sense into Jasmina as she's really feeling like Michael isn't her person. It was great to hear the feedback that Pastor Cal gave of that they were just communicating differently and not receiving what they needed, but not being able to communicate that. I really feel like this couple, it's like grinds my gears. So they talk about the issue. They talk around the issue. Even the experts were talking around the issue. The issue is that they don't know how to communicate with each other. And there's also this dynamic where Jasmina, and even Michael said it, will talk down to him with the now Michael, and even we saw it when they were trying to recount the situation that led up to their demise of their relationship, which happened to be a laptop, which was even more heartbreaking to hear. I feel like there's some underlying things that both of them are not communicating with each other. That's what I really feel. There's some underlying things that both of them are not communicating with each other. Jasmina and Michael like each other and care for each other, but I also feel like they have not shown up truthfully about each other's experience of each other in this relationship, and I want to know why that is. What could be helpful for Michael to be able to find his voice in a relationship, right? And also what can help Jasmina to calm her defenses and actually hear someone in a relationship. Part of me feels like Jasmina wants somebody who has like a harder exterior and like a bravado that is maybe harsher. That's what she's kind of used to, and Michael is timid and soft, and so that's something that she is So it's almost like something she sees as a weakness, which in reality isn't. It's the fact that he's actually like trying to attend to her needs, but Mark was right. He does overthink things, and so he kind of coils in and shuts down. He says, "No, I'm sorry." And you saw how it was very, very teacher student, very mother son. She said, "No, I'm not finished." "Okay, I'm sorry." And he just like shut all the way down. So I'm hoping that they can see this in themselves and hopefully be able to learn and grow in their next relationships. It's such a pity that they weren't able to stay together. But what is meant to be will be. Next, we have Noy and Steve. There's not really much to talk about with this couple. They're doing pretty well. I think really the main issue is going to be this cohabitation situation. And so Dr. Pepper, she talked about how it works for her and why it works for her, and that is not necessarily going to be what's going to continue to work for Noy and Steve. I know that there is like this kind of independence thing, and I really hope that Noy goes to individual therapy so she can maybe work through what's happening inside of her, whether it is the fact that Steve doesn't have a full-time employment and that's why she wants to hold on to her apartment, or if it's a part of her individuality and there are ways that she can maintain her individuality in the relationship without creating separation, as this physical separation is going to start to wane on their relationship. And they have some great tools. There's a great connection. There's a great love between them two. So I would hate for the relationship to dissolve. So I'm hoping that she'll be able to move in slowly, really hoping that she'll be able to get what she needs, right, from Steve and from herself, to be able to trust the relationship, to be able to move in with Steve. Next, we have Wan and Kathina. I know that there are so many different opinions about this couple just because Wan has some characteristics that need some work, right? Need some work. And the beauty is that he's able to see that. I think what sometimes what people miss is how Wan does have some struggles with thinking before he speaks, which also is a byproduct of ADHD, and not knowing how he comes off, and that's also a challenge as well. Sometimes people with ADHD will blurt things and say things, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't mean to say that," and it's a part of how their brain works, and so. Not to say that gives him a permission slip to treat Kathina anyway, right? But it's just to explain the behavior. And so the fact that he's able to take accountability for it and that he's doing better. He's even from the gentleman, like he's getting meals and then he's also relaxing his expectations and realizing that his expectations were not realistic. And even Jasmina got with him. So I do have some hope for the couple, and also Kathina's finding her voice as well. I think a lot of what we saw on camera was Kathina trying to navigate how to talk to Wan when he's escalated on camera. And so I think that's really where we saw like her timidness come in and kind of figuring out like when is the best time. Probably the best time will be off camera to address this. And so we're seeing her not speak up for herself. And I feel like she does. She's pretty spicy. She got with Lindsay, so I know that's there, and so I'm great to see that they're moving forward and taking in the lessons of this experience. Next, we have Mark and Lindsay. This was a rough one. Mark, it was so heartbreaking to see him tear up so many times during this episode because of all the things that he has gone through, on top of being bullied through the whole process and not being able to like find his voice. Like he does not like conflict, and how Lindsay shows up is fight, and so he's always in a conflict, and he's lost his apartment, has bed bugs, lost his job. And Mark said it. You don't like my job, so I got to find another job. Like, everything that she was saying, like she was proud of doing for him, like the Lindsay effect, wasn't because she was trying to make him better. It was like she was trying to change him because of it would make her feel better about herself. So it was really, just heartbreaking to see that. She struggled. She really struggled to hold herself accountable in her behavior with Mark. But Elijah Wan was able to check her and able to kind of pull her in and hold her to task to take accountability for her actions. And also Dr. Pepper. I think Dr. Pepper's language and her relationship that she was able to build with Lindsay was able to pull down those defensive mechanisms that were there, those protectors, so that Lindsay can say, yeah, you're right. I do bully. I do say mean things. And Dr. Viviana was so nervous because she just didn't want Mark to experience more belittling and more negative critique about who he is as a person. And I understood what Pastor Cal was trying to do, but I could see where she was just really trying to protect Mark from any more bullying from her. So I'm really hoping that both of them definitely take care of themselves, get some individual therapy to work out. Also, we have Alyssa and Chris. To explain, I just want to explain I'm a really good person. Here's the thing. Sometimes when people are talking to you and they are telling you about something that you're doing that wasn't right, or they're holding you to task saying this is something that you need to be held accountable for, sometimes it can be internalized as shame. If there's some things internally for you where maybe there's an inner critic in there that feels like if you do one thing, then that means you're a bad person, right? And so that's why she really feels the need to plead her case, that I'm a good person. I understand that her going through this on national television was a lot for her, right? But also the things that she said about Chris and to Chris were not okay. I think too, what Dr. Pepper said was very accurate. Her having such a narrow view of what she wanted, it just wasn't best for her to be on this show. And I'm hoping that, actually we get to see that both of them do move on. I wonder if this is scripted or not. It's just so happened that they move and meet two other people from Married at First Sight. It's just very interesting. But anyway, now that the season is over, I wish all of them the best, especially the couples, that they take care of themselves and continue to nurture their relationships. And of course, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, and as always, be cool, be calm, be centered.